it says tardy slip. That's what I need to do. I need to get a piece of paper. I need to make some really cute tardy slips. Write it down with my excuse. Why are you late? What am I, 12 minutes late? I was in a meeting, so I couldn't take my break at my regular time. An impromptu meeting that lasted a little longer than, and this was about 30 minutes. Good morning, Rose. Good morning. Good morning. I do need to have my tardy slip. Oh, good morning, Elaine, Maza. Oh, you guys all saw my mask. Rose saw my mask. I'm very excited about my mask. Of course, people are talking about me, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to be safe. That's all that matters, right? I'm going to have my, hold on, sorry. Sue, good morning, Stace. Good morning, Bernadette. Good morning, Steve. Good morning. I'm sorry I was late, guys. I was in the middle of a meeting, and I had an impromptu call working on some contract stuff. So I couldn't take my break at my regular time. And it was an impromptu meeting, so I didn't have an ability to say, hey guys, I won't be on time. Yeah, you have your face shield. My sister is making face shields. I mean, we got to be safe. And remember back when all of this started, people were saying, oh, everybody doesn't need to wear a mask. You only need to wear a mask if you're sick. And so I remember a coworker of mine showed up at work with a mask on. Everybody was making fun of him. And then another one showed up. Everybody was talking about, oh, you shouldn't have a mask. Good morning, Claudia. Hola, mi hermana. My gray hair. Whew, I like my gray hair too, but I need a haircut. I don't mind the gray, but I need a cut. Good morning, Robin. I got your card, Robin. Thank you so much. I was trying to call you yesterday to tell you thank you. Thank you, thank you. Robin sent me the sweetest card. Thank you very much. Of course, then it was too early for me to call when I got the card, and then it was too late and I forgot. So anyway, I love you. Thank you. So you know what I want to talk about today? It's not about the masks. Oh, I do want to finish about the masks. So, at the beginning, everybody was making fun of people who wore masks. So all of you making fun of my mask right now, in a month's time or 2 months' time, when you want that mask and it's all sold out, I'm going to be like, I told you so. I told you. I'm about to be ahead of the game. I got this one. This one's a little bit too big for me. I ordered the medium large. I wasn't sure if it was going to fit or not. It's a little too big, so I'm going to order the small and let the medium large one be for my son. Steve says, I saw your mask. Are you a Ghostbuster now? Yeah, if that's what I got to be. And don't worry, I'm about to have my disposable hazmat suit too. If I got to go somewhere, I'm going to have my mask on. I'm going to have my hazmat suit on. I'm going to get a shield. Yeah, you're going to be thinking I work for the CDC. I know you weren't tardy, Suli. You were here early. I was tardy. Good morning, T. Oh, she's not here yet. Okay. Listen, you guys, let me get my kit. I'm going to show you because y'all think I'm crazy. I am crazy. Let me grab this kit. I am prepared. My family's about to be prepared. So this is the kit. A pandemic flu kit, right? So it comes with this mask. This mask comes in 3 parts. Let me show you. If I can get it open. There we go. Okay. So it comes in 3 parts. So you have this part, which is a half face mask. So, of course, it goes on to your face, right? And then this part goes up above your head. Anyway, this part is up here above your head, and this other strap is around your neck. So you have this part, right? This is a chemical filter and a P100 filter. This has also a pre-filter. So you have a pre-filter, the P100, which is this one, and I think it filters out chemicals as well. This pre-filter is to filter out dust. This one is the one that's supposed to filter out everything else. And then your mask. You put it all together, and voila, you're safe. Now, the kit comes with all of these masks. There's 100 of these, and you're supposed to change them every 7 days. So you change the pre-filter every 7 days, and there's 100 pre-filters here. And this filter you clean, and then after you soak it in alcohol, you let it dry. So these pieces you clean, and then the pre-filter you change. So you think I'm crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. So it's $100. It was not on Amazon. It's $100. It was not on Amazon. It was on a site called Industrial. I'll put the link. Industrial Supplies. They have this pandemic flu kit. They have some other masks. They have other supplies. They have the surgical mask. I will post the link. Suli. They have all kinds of other supplies. They have, it's not just for this, but for those of us who are flying, for those of us who have decided, I still need to go, I still need to do things, I will have on my mask. Now, I'm not going to wear my mask every day, every place that I go. But I guarantee you when I go to the grocery store, I'm going to have my mask on. Because there's people out there that's not wearing masks. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. So I got to come out looking like a Ghostbuster. Because people aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And do I care? No, sort of, kind of. So right now, when I have on a regular mask, I walk out looking however. Look, sometimes I look raggedy. I don't care. I got a mask on. My hair is not done. It's coronavirus time. I'm looking raggedy, yes. But with this Ghostbuster mask on, with my Darth Vader, and I do sound like Darth Vader with the mask on, just so you know. With my Darth Vader mask on, no, I got to be cute. I got to be cute in every other aspect. So I don't get talked about too bad. Like, damn, she fine, but what? Why she got to walk out looking like Darth Vader? That must be Crystal. I can't see I can't see. It says Facebook user, but that says Auntie. So I'm gonna think it's either. I think that's probably Crystal talking about damn Auntie. I mean, really, Auntie. Forget coronavirus. You're fully prepared for the apocalypse. That's right. That's right. I sure am. See, Suli, if you're thinking about flying, wow. You said Steve says a friend of yours just came down with C-19 after a flight to DC. Look, you have to do what's comfortable for you. What's comfortable for me is to do nothing, but it's not comfortable. It is not comfortable. Yesterday, I was having some anxiety, and I realized it was anxiety when I stepped outside. I felt like my asthma was acting up, and I was like, I can't breathe. And then I start stressing about not being able to breathe. And then I think I'm about to die, right? I mean, all of this goes through my head like I am surely dying. I stepped outside and I took a walk, and I could breathe fine when I was outside taking that walk. And I'm like, this is what anxiety is? Wow. So when it started to rear its ugly head again, I got up and took another walk. So I have to get out of the house. I've got to start getting out more because I'm starting to feel the effect physically. And not that I'm stressed. Like, I don't feel stressed. But obviously my body is like, girl, get your ass out of the house. My body is like, yeah, we're stressed. Whether you feel stressed or not, we're stressed. And I need to get my son out. So how do I do that in a way that's comfortable for me? I walk outside looking like Darth Vader. That's what I do. So what I really wanted to talk about was not just the mask wearing, because and an update, my neighbor is fine. She came back. My mask didn't get here in time for me to go down there with my hazmat suit, but I heard some noises downstairs a little bit after we got off of our tea time, maybe about an hour or two after tea time. I heard some noises. I went down to check on her dogs, and she was there. And she said she just got dizzy, and she felt like everybody overreacted. But, she's 100 years old, so that's not overreacting. You get dizzy, you need to go to the hospital. So She's fine. I checked on her again today. She's out walking the dog again today, so she's fine. Um, and I didn't have to go into her space. Susie says, I'm thinking of that mask for flying. Yes, yes, I know. That's what I thought you meant, Susie. And I definitely, if I have to get on a flight now and in the future, I will have on my mask for sure. That's the only way I would take a flight. Kai's T, they are conjoined twins. Who's conjoined twins? You and Stace? I missed that comment. I think I'm supposed to laugh, but I don't know what you mean. Rose says an old co-worker has a graduation party for her son with family, and the uncle just tested positive for C-19. Right. Sulie, airlines are not practicing social distancing on flights. You know, how can you practice social distancing on a flight anyway? When they were practicing social distancing, really, one seat in between? What's that mean? You still got the person in front of you and the person behind you. They're not staggering the seats, and you're still stuck in the same space for 2 to 3 to 5, how many ever hours your flight is. So is that really social distancing? No, that's not really effective physical distancing. But you got to do what's comfortable for you. And I say, if you have to get on a flight, you better get this pandemic flu kit. I'm going to post it today afterwards. I can't remember where I got it from, and I don't have the thing in front of me, but I'm going to post it for you. What I want to talk about. Good morning, Facebook user. I'm sorry, I'm on this new feed. I can't see who my Facebook people are that are joining. So let me see if I could come here. So if you come on here, if you comment, I love that you're here. I don't know why sometimes it does say it and sometimes it doesn't, but please let me know who you are. So, Pam, good morning, Pam. Crystal, Charmin Turnage, you're on. Good morning. Good morning. So I can see who you are on my phone. Good morning. So what I wanted to talk about today. So today the CDC reconfirmed their guidelines for kids returning to school. So you have Betsy DeVos. I want to call her DeVos. Thank you, Crystal, my beautiful sister. Thank you. I want to call her Betsy DeVos because DeVos was the bad guy on Flash. But anyway, Betsy DeVos was threatening to withhold funding for schools that did not fully open up. And she's saying she doesn't approve of partial opening up, partial physical distancing, any rearrangement of the school day. She's not okay with that. She doesn't believe that. It's fear-mongering, blah, 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 right? While the president is saying, the president is saying, schools need to reopen. Schools need to call her devoid of understanding. Right, devoid. Betsy devoid, exactly. So the president is saying schools need to open back up. Meanwhile, you've got people posting about, you're talking about letting people out of jail because of the coronavirus, but you want kids to go to school. So the CDC reconfirmed today that they're not changing their guidelines. It's up to the states. It's up to your individual state to decide, to schools to work with the state to decide how the system is going to look come August or September, whenever kids start in your area. But my question is, I know some of you don't have kids on this feed, but you may know people who have kids. Are you comfortable sending your child back to school, even with some of the physical distancing guidelines that they're wanting to put in place? One of our tea timers posted yesterday, we were in conversation, Hydea, we were in conversation about what's the psychological effects on the kids if they're made to go back to school, but told that they have to keep away from their friends. They have to keep 6 feet distance. And what's the reality of kids 6 feet distance? These schools are overcrowded. What are they walking down the hall one person at a time? Because the hallway at my son's school is kind of narrow. I mean, it's Okay, maybe it's not too narrow. I mean, it's wide, but it's too narrow for the number of kids who are walking down that hallway at any one given point in time. So you're going to line them up single file, have them 6 feet apart in a single file line. You can't even keep kids in a single file line when they're not social distancing, when they're not physically distancing. So how are you going to do it now? Crystal, you sending yours to your mom's house. You better talk to your mom about that. I don't think my beautiful sister's going to take those kids every day. Steve says, my girls are grown, but I absolutely would not. Right. And then my neighbor, when I was checking her this morning, I saw her outside. So I ran out to, how are you, blah, blah, blah. She said all the parents in this neighborhood that she's talked to, nobody's sending their kid back. Nobody wants to send their kid. We have been locked in the house all of this time, staying away from the ones we love. Why are we going to go hang out all day long with the ones we don't care about much? I mean, yeah, they like to see their friends, blah, blah, blah. But if you can't even go see your loved ones, you can't go see your grandmother, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins. You can't spend time with them. Why are you going to go sit in a classroom? And as a teacher, what kind of burden are we putting on these teachers to ask them to put themselves at risk and then also their families at risk? Because they're going and exposing themselves to kids who are coming from 20 different households, or 25 or 30, how many ever they're going to have in at one time, 15, maybe, I don't know. We're asking them to come and expose themselves to these kids every single day. And we're going to take temperatures at the door. So if you have a virus that people catch and they don't necessarily show symptoms, no fever, no cough, no achiness, no nothing, what does taking a temperature do? If you are at the same time saying that you can have the virus and be asymptomatic, what the hell is the use of a thermometer at the door? Stace says, my youngest is already set up for homeschooling. Stace, did she set up for homeschooling? Was she set up prior to coronavirus time? Or is this just because of coronavirus that she set up? And if it is because of coronavirus that she set up, is there a particular separate organization that she's going through? Or is it something that's offered through her school? And I'm asking these questions for everybody here to know, but also because I got to set my own up. Good morning, Alicia. Alicia says it makes people feel like they're doing something to take a temperature. Yeah, but what are you really doing? What are you really doing? Crystal says, no, I'm kidding. But honestly, I don't think it'll have a good effect on them mentally. No, because now and especially your kids, Crystal, come on, man. These little young babies, tell them, don't touch your friends. Wash your hands. Okay, so the CDC says the lowest risk for coronavirus is virtual only school, right? That's the lowest risk. Then there's more risk if you have small in-person classes and activities and events, and the students are able to remain 6 feet apart. I have my notes. Where's my cousin Eric so he can see I have my notes today? Alicia says, Amaya will be going to school. And are you comfortable with that, Alicia? I mean, obviously, because you're going to do it, right? Somebody says, who is that? Who is that saying? Oh, Charmin says the temperature keeps the green snot-nosed kids not coming and give it away. Yeah, but the problem is you don't have to be green and snot-nosed in order to give away coronavirus. Suli says Z School District has started enrolling for next year, online and homeschool with Zoom classes once a week. I really don't know how that's going to work. Karen says, we don't have enough staff for that. At the moment, they are thinking about having the kitchen staff to help. I think not. Alicia says, social distancing guidelines will be in place, but they will fall apart once the kids get there. Right. They're going to fall apart. And Alicia, with Quat, are you sure that Amaya going to school and bringing home whatever contamination that she picks up at school is what Quat needs? Think about it, my dear. I know you're thinking about it a lot, but think about it more. And what you said it's not possible for her to homeschool. That's hard because you do have situations like that. So how does the community come together? How does the community come together to help situations where, let's say, for example, Alicia, maybe you have to go to school and Leon has to go to school, and so who is there to homeschool with Amaya? And I understand that, because if Etienne were not 12, I would not have the ability, unless my job was going to allow me to work from home, which in this particular case, with this particular job, they would. If the governor said the schools were not going to open up, then my job has already said that parents will be allowed to work from home full time if that is what they need for their family. So that's fantastic, because we went from not being allowed to not being allowed to work from home, to, if that's what's necessary, parents can stay at home. Or if you have, if you're higher risk, blah, blah, blah. Steve says schools of, somebody says, who's that somebody? Crystal says, I'm not all the way comfortable, but I know one thing, I'm not a teacher. Forget that, these kids going to school. Steve says, schools are asking me to prepare virtual classroom packages for fall. Very good, Steve. That's very good. Suli says, it's Z's first year in middle school, and he has been so nervously excited about it. This is such a damper. Can she homeschool with another student? See, Robin, that's what I was going to say, is that maybe this is where the community needs to come together, and we need to keep these kids together. Maybe there's some parent that is able to homeschool your child. So maybe there's someone else that who Amaya can go to during the day, which would keep her at least from being around 20 or 30 other kids, and then in her class, and then all of the rest of the kids in the school. Yeah, that family would still be, exposed, and she would be exposed to that family wherever she stayed, but at least it wouldn't be such a massive exposure. Can she, I think that's Pam. Pam, is that you? Yeah, Kai, I'm a trainer for Kaiser. I train adults. However, Kaiser has made it official. They rearranged their classrooms that only 10 people max can be in the classroom, 6 feet socially distanced. I have the right, if they don't have a mask, to tell them they cannot enter the classroom, and when we let them out for breaks. So congregating only 6 people in a huge hallway, otherwise they need to break outside. Not sure how the schools will handle this, but just giving my perspective. You know what? I think that's great, Pam. Thank you very much for adding that. The thing about it is that you're working with adults. You're working with adults, and you still may have to tell somebody that they need to step out because they don't have a mask on, or they need to put their mask on properly because they've removed it once they come into the classroom. I mean, you're working with adults and you have that issue. Imagine what that's going to be like for teachers working with the kids. And how is it that you take a classroom of 30 kids and you say, we're going to have this classroom come, but now we're going to only accept 15 kids at a time. So what does that mean for the school day? And what does that mean for the responsibility of the teachers? So it's not just the kids I'm concerned about, it's the teachers too. Let's see, hold on. I wish that I had people out here that I knew that were close to my son so that I could homeschool with them, That's a good idea, Robin. I'll look into that with Z's friends. Rose says, right, because the 20 kids has family, and then you have the other 100 kids have family. Right, everybody is connected to somebody. Elaine says, the fewer the numbers of children, the better. Sorry, I'm trying to get to your comment. The fewer the number of children, the better for the children. So sharing homeschooling. Yeah, so homeschooling, a sharing homeschool is better. Somebody says, sorry, Kai. Good morning. Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks, Pam. It's okay. I got you. My grandmother used to spell it that way. Not this grandmother whose table we're sitting at, but my father's mother used to spell my name like that my whole entire life. So I knew exactly who you were talking to. The teachers are scared to death about teaching. They want to teach, but it's not worth the risk. Exactly, because they're putting their families at risk. St. Louis Public Schools only require the staff to wear masks and not the students. And we already know that if only one person has the mask on, there's not really the protection. That in order to have the protection, both people have to wear the mask. The teachers need to wear the mask. The students need to wear the masks. If only the students have it, only the teachers have it, that's not effective. It's SLPS. I'm not surprised. St. Louis Public Schools. How do you keep kids social distance playing dodgeball, volleyball, tag? Right. So, or do you tell them that now they can't play that? That's the problem. So what is the psychological effect on the kids? Now you're not allowing them to play like they usually play. Now you're not allowing them to congregate the way they usually congregate, to talk the way they usually talk. So what is the purpose of sending them to the classroom if the classroom is to help them develop their social skills, right? Why can that instruction not be given in a virtual setting? If you're not allowing the social connection, what do you need them in the classroom for? Janice says, good morning, Janice. You made it up. Janice says, Manteca Lathrop Unified School District is giving the parent an option to choose homeschooling or in-school classroom. Man, kids are not going to maintain 6 feet distance, right? I'm 100% sure. And then if they make kids play by themselves in little chalked out boxes at recess, then that's just torture for a kid. And people are crazy. You can't have your kids in anybody's house. You can't have them in anybody's house, but you can figure out whose house you can trust, which would be a better situation than a whole classroom where your kids have to play in little chalked out boxes. And what do they do? What do they do with the masks when they all need to eat? What do they do then? I mean, this is an unprecedented situation. Yeah, they won't be playing those games, which again, then how does that affect them psychologically? Is it really beneficial for them? How is it beneficial? Maybe they get their academics, but they're socially screwed, or they're mentally, psychologically screwed, because now you have them in isolation with a group. Karen says, as a bus driver and kitchen help, I don't want to go back. Right. Parents may not have the means to stay at home with the kids. That's the unfortunate situation. Absolutely. That's the unfortunate situation. Good morning, Jasmine. Some kids have to go to school because their parents have to go to work. Right. Steve says the end game is to extend your dash. The dash is the year you were born to the year you die. Yes. Yes, Steve be coming to the table with some grim stuff. Oh, good morning, Yolanda. Welcome to the table. We are discussing some pertinent things here. What do we do? How do we work? This is where the community comes together. Yes, there are kids, there are parents there are people who are not in my situation and who are not in some of your situation, who have the means to stay home, to homeschool their own kids. Now, when I say have the means to homeschool your own kids, I don't mean the patience or the temperament. That's not what I'm talking about, because I don't have that. I will be suffering, absolutely suffering. Alicia says, who says that? Crystal says, well, my kids at daycare now every day that I go to work. Might as well open the schools back up. Alicia says, working with special ed kids, there are some kids who need teachers to actually learn. That's true. And what about parents who can't stay home? Right. These are all things we have to think about. Karen says, at the moment, my school will not be having recess or eating in the lunchroom. They will be in the classroom. You know, it's an unfortunate situation that we have, that there's not this social safety net, that parents don't have the ability to stay home and keep their families safe, not just their kids safe, but their families safe. And I think we need to lean more on our community as much as we can, as much as we can provide that safety for people, as much as if I know another mom or dad who has to go to work and I can work from home, and I trust that they are practicing other safe habits in their household, I could maybe offer that, you know what, my kid needs some socialization. You can bring the mask here. The kids can be here together and they can homeschool together once a week. Or I can take them out to the park, or I can tend to your child this time. And we can do this kind of exchange, this community caring, the village caring for the families and the kids of those who have to go to work, who don't have the choice to say, yes, I'm going to homeschool. I have been in that situation. 20 years ago, I would not have had a choice of whether I could homeschool or not. You know, they couldn't have been at home by themselves. So what do you do? Yeah, I don't have, Suli, it's going to kill me. It's going to kill me, the having to homeschool my son. I want to do it. We should have homeschool or virtual school, create play dates, schedules with children, providing testing results attached weekly. Exactly. Who is that? That's Sharman that said that. No, that's Idea. I knew it was one of y'all. Exactly. I think that what we need to do is lean on others in the community. Gather up your friends who are like-minded, decide, okay, I've got 3 people here. Are we all going back to work? If we all going back to work, can one of us be with the kids, or can one of our significant others be with the kids this time? I got Monday and Tuesday, you got Wednesday and Thursday, I got Friday. Or whatever it is, switch it up. But as much as you can find that type of support within your circle, reach out for that type of support as much as you can. There's going to be people who have to send their kids. You have to. There's nothing you can do about it. And in those situations, because you need to live, you need to be able to afford your home, your food, medical care. You need to be able to afford your living. I get it. And in those situations, you have to do what you have to do. But I don't feel it's right that the governor or that the presidents or that Betsy DeVos tells you as a parent, put your child at risk. Even when you have the ability to stay home and work, your child has to go back to school or there will be consequences. No, because the consequence of sending my child to an unsafe situation is death. So I will take jail time for 500, Alex. I will take a fine for 6,000, Alex. Double jeopardy, send me away, Alex. My son will be at home. At home, driving me crazy. I swear the boy is developing Tourette's or something. Sulie says, I don't have the patience either. I say the same thing, just louder and louder. Right. And you know what? Let me tell y'all, I'm such a terrible, wonderful mom. I'm just going to be real here. I've been at home with this boy long enough. And when he gets bored, I swear the boy developing Tourette's. Just look, Rose be on the phone with me like, what's that noise? Yeah, that's that boy. Janice will be, what is that? Yeah, that's that boy. That's that boy. Come get him. Somebody save me from him. I get to the point, Sulie, where I'm like, hey, Chen, not so much noise. Hey, stop all that noise. Stop. Boy, shut up! I never told those other kids to shut up, but this one, oh my God, shut up already. Just shut up. Jesus, man. Whew. All right, thank you, Rose. Thank you for keeping me on target here. Sulie says, does anyone here have a 6th grader next school year? I don't have a 6th grader, but mine is going to be an 8th grader next school year. Let's see. Unfortunately, most, maybe all my friends work in education, so we'll all be there together. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, Alicia, but you got to do the best that you can do. And do the best and disinfect and everything, because we need to keep Quad safe. We need Amaya to be safe too, but we especially need to keep Quad safe. Well protected. Karen says, if my daughter was in school age, she wouldn't go. She just said she wouldn't go because my parents are smart enough to teach me. Yeah, her parents are, but I don't know about this parent right here. Facebook's the user. I worked with the senior community. I think that's Hadia. I worked with the senior community in San Francisco and started to collaborate with child care programs, bringing them together, maybe setting up homeschools with retired individuals, utilizing the expertise of seniors for those who cannot stay home. Right, that's a good idea. Except that seniors are really susceptible and vulnerable at this time. So it's a good idea, but it depends on how much social distancing or physical distancing you're doing at home as to whether you would be putting the senior at risk by putting your child with that senior every day when you yourself are going off to work every day and bringing your germs home. So we would have to be careful about engaging the senior community at this time. A coworker puts kids in camp. She needed a mental break. Kids at camp were sick. They tested positive, so she had to quarantine. That was a St. Louis that happened too. In Missouri that happened too, where there were 82 kids that were at a camp, a Christian camp. 82 kids and staff were diagnosed with coronavirus, so they ended up having to close the camp down. Thank you, Rose. Rose is telling me, get off, girl. You passed your time. Let me read through the rest of these comments, and then I'm going to go. You need to eat some Garrett popcorn. What's that? Yep, the sharing of his knowledge is too much sometimes. Yeah. I need Z and A10 to get together. Let them talk to each other. me and Sulie would be sipping on some tea in the background like, oh, Lord, thank you. Let them have each other. She was set up prior to. Oh, okay. I didn't get the link, Stace. Can you post the link separately for the homeschooling? Because I want to do that with my son. I'm trying to see what Maryland is doing, what his school district is doing, but I think I might want to go outside of the school district to a bona fide homeschooling program, unless, we'll see what the school district finally decides to do. Anyway, guys, we have a lot to think about on a regular basis with this stuff. How are we going to move forward, keeping ourselves and our families safe, but safe physically and mentally? Safe physically and mentally. That's what's important. It's one thing to say, okay, I've got all the hand sanitizer, the cleaning wipes. I've got my Darth Vader mask. Luke, I am your father. I have my Darth Vader mask. I have all of this stuff. But if putting on all of this stuff and having to stay still 6 feet away from everybody when I go into a setting, if that affects me negatively mentally, it doesn't matter really that I'm protected physically. Ultimately, we need to be protected physically and mentally. We need our kids to be okay. And in whatever system that we put them in, coming up this next school year, we need to make sure that the powers that be are ensuring the mental safety, the psychological damage that their policies and practices will do. They need to be considering that, not just they need to be back in school and get their academics. Because my child is a 4.0 student. My child is an honor roll student. However, if you don't take care of his psychological development, academically, he will starve. So consider these things, guys. I'm going to go. Rose is kicking me off. She should, because I got a little long-winded here. So thank you, Rose, for keeping me on target. Always like, girl, go, 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 go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please continue to think about these things and continue to add to the conversation. Stace, please add the link to the homeschool that your daughter goes to, because I would like to look into that. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys at my table. You guys bring my anxiety level down. I didn't even suffer from anxiety until this coronavirus time, but you guys are keeping me in check, and I appreciate every time we come to the table together. Thank you so much. Stay safe. I will post the link to the pandemic kit site. Stace, you're going to post the link to the homeschooling, and we're going to all figure out how we can support each other at this table in our communities, so that we can make sure that our kids are safe going into this next school year, and that we're safe. Because if I got to homeschool that child by myself, he about to suffer. Anyway, have a wonderful, glorious day. Stay safe. Wear your masks. I got mine. Get your hazmat suit. Stay physically distanced. Find a way to physically distance and come together at the same time. Find a way to do that. Let's start being creative about that. If we haven't been already, let's start being creative about that. Have a great day, and I will see you here tomorrow.